starting out doing like 3K and stuff like this, and really going through the steps, and how important has your mindset been in this whole journey?
Like conviction has been the most important thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever it is like the belief, the faith, or like conviction is low, or the mindset is not working that way, client results like dip, you start to doubt yourself more, which makes you work less, take less action, and it affects everything. It affects the business altogether, even your team for that matter. You know, if you're feeling low for a week, your team starts to like not perform as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're feeling good and if your customers are getting results, your team will start to like work better as well. And
Mm-hmm.
mindset is so important, especially if you have a team or even alone for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not keeping your mindset in check, it gets so hard, man. It gets so hard to like work. It gets so hard to believe in yourself. And then your just business takes a dip, which is like a spiral, right? One thing goes off, it goes off to the next thing, it goes off to the next thing, and before you know, your business is dead.
The faster you bounce, specifically also in entrepreneurship, the more successful you will become, especially also short term, mid term, and long term. But I think it's an essential skill, just that you like all the time get back up fast. Like don't take me wrong, don't suppress your emotions. Like this is the last thing that you should do. Like for example, if I get a real bad hit, I have like a bounce back protocol that I created for myself, right? I'm like, for example, I lost a big client or something like this. Like there's this first things that I do is normally I go off for a run or go to the gym where I just really kill myself, and it's just really like, this. And then I come back and then I sit down with just take a white paper and really like old school, write down just everything that just happened to me, da 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 da. And then I make a new plan and duck, duck, duck. And that's basically how I manage things.
I would do the same things in exact order, because the thing is like your feeling is stuck in the body. So to shake the feeling, literally to shake the feeling, you need to like move the body.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, go to the gym. Nature is great because it makes you feel better. And then at the end of the day, you need to let your body and your mind process the emotion and let it fade. And while you're doing that, you just need to remember, okay, I'm going to get out of it, the emotion first, and then do something about this. And then you, of course, like create the plan. And at the end of the day, the question again remains is like something I always ask to myself, and then Preeti and I always like ask each other, like, what else is the alternative? Are you just gonna stop doing it? Are you just gonna stop running the business, or figure it out? Even if you are in a, I don't know, like in a hole right now, or whatever the case might be, or if you're in a slump, or if you had a failure, like what else is the option?
Welcome everybody to today's podcast, the Agency Breakthrough Podcast, and I have an amazing guest. We know each other already. Like I just checked it, I think since 2-3 years minimum. We have been in the same mastermind, Agency Velocity, and he really did a really great job with his agency, build it up to around, I don't know, 50K now or something like this, I believe, right, Baraka? So yeah, welcome Brakan Kashari, a good old friend of mine and a killer in the space. Maybe tell the people a little bit about you so they know who you are and what you do.
Absolutely, brother. First of all, thank you for having me here. I love these type of like chats, so I'm glad to be here. Excited to talk to you. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we chatted the last time, so I'm like very excited to like just chat with you in general as well. A little bit about me. In a previous life, I was a software engineer. I used to like write code and build software for YC companies, marketing tech companies in the US. So I used to like build software for like about 7 years. After that, I wanted to like start my own business. So after the US, living in Chicago, moved to Toronto to start a business with my wife. And that's when I started like figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Agency space made sense. So found my first mastermind program, first community, Agency Velocity. That's exactly where we met each other. Learned the skill of cold email, and we were not calling it go-to-market back then, but cold email essentially. And that's where my wife and I started our company, doing cold emailing and helping startups book appointments, because we understood the value of like what booking appointments and getting demos for startups mean. And how much of a strong channel it could be in terms of like generating revenue for these companies. So it just made sense for us to do that. And ever since then, we have stuck to it, and still are running our agency to this day. Have grown from all the way from doing 3K per month from our first client to now like 50K per month, which is pretty nice to see the growth. Some months are strong, some months are low, but as long as we're trending upwards, that's all I want to see. And our next goal is to like hit 80K to 100K months and expand into other services that we can offer along with cold email and in the go-to-market space still. So yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing. You said like you right now you still only do cold email, or like do you do cold email, LinkedIn, or only cold email for your clients right now?
Our primary channel is cold email. If someone asks for LinkedIn, we do, but cold email has been our primary channel just because of the scalability factor. It's harder to scale LinkedIn because LinkedIn profiles, as you know, like they are more restricted. There's only one or two you can get, unless you get like AI profiles and rented profiles, and that's a whole another like play. But it's more complicated than like getting inboxes, scaling those, and doing that there. We do want to do LinkedIn on a scale too, because like it's definitely like a very effective channel. But cold email has been very effective for the clients that we are working with. And we're sticking with that for now. And if someone wants to do LinkedIn, then we definitely explore that as well. But the first place we start them is cold email.
And so you say you work with startups. This is a very interesting niche. So do you have a specific kind of startups that they, which kind of seed phase they are, or does it
Yeah,
not matter?
so we stick with seed and series A. So on the startup side, we started with that, but then we niched up instead of niching down. We niched up, and then now we have clients from some traditional companies, manufacturing, uh, printing, and now we're gonna go into professional services as well. What we figured was, as long as people have the problem of not having enough appointments on their calendar, and they could reach their market via cold email, meaning their customers are opening their inbox. They are a business as well. It just made sense for us to do it for them as well. That way, we're not restricting ourselves to a smaller market, but any market or any business that has a market of more than 30,000 businesses in their total addressable market, basically. We could help them. So, and we have found success with traditional companies as well. So
Interesting, because like I'm really generally personally interested because like the agencies I've seen really good scaling obviously are the ones that are really just like, okay, this is boom, niche down, let's say, I don't know, commercial cleaning, pressure washing, like you know it, right? And it just makes the process super simple because it's just plug and play, right? It's all the time the same. But I know because I run my agency before, right? And obviously like when you're so open with taking on everybody, you have to figure it out every time again and again for new, right? And how is that for you?
it's challenging, man. It's challenging, but I'll tell you that, like, I'll tell you what. One of our clients, one of our highest retainer clients, right? They came to us inbound last year, right? And they got us on the path of like niching up because they are a label manufacturer, right? They sell to the likes of Pepsi, PetSmart. They have over 800 clients, massive market. And we did launch their campaigns. And since last year, we have generated over like, I think, 1,075 leads.
Wow.
And without much work. Once we crack the market, every segment that we go to, it's the same copy that's still working that I wrote last year. So we are hunting for more of those companies. Another company that came to us was printing, like premium listing materials for real estate agents, and they're basically like a large format print shop. And we found a market, so they didn't necessarily have a focus, right? But we focused their offer on people who would respond to them. And just so that after we experimented with them, we went after gyms, we went after restaurants, we went after like so many different niches and markets for them. But then we figured their offer worked the best for real estate agents. And ever since we figured that out, all we do is just find new leads. We haven't written new copy for them since then. And they had the least amount of work. And most of the copy, like most of the lead sourcing is handled by our team. I basically do zero work for these clients other than hopping on, especially with this client, we hop on a meeting once a month.
Oh, okay.
And that's
Yeah, if
about
it
it.
goes like this, well, it's true. You don't need more, right? I had that before as
So
well.
what our play has become is, again, optimizing for more of these clients where we have cracked the messaging and there's less copy fatigue. And then we can infinitely scale, considering they have a massive market. And then we don't have to do much work because we have their avatar pinned down. And then it's mostly just finding more of those people.
Okay, that's
So
right.
it's,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a challenge up front, but let's say we figure something out for these guys, it just keeps printing, you know?
Uh-huh.
And the ones that we cannot generate results for, we let them go.
Hmm. Obviously, they are there as well, right? But this is my question. I mean, you can never make it for everybody. Like,
Exactly.
okay, no, I understand, and I think it's a very good way of seeing things because also you know that, and I asking this because like, I have seen this a lot with my clients as well. Like sometimes they taking on clients and they cannot produce results for them, and then they get crazy about it, and they're like, oh, I don't know, and then they blame themselves and so on and so on. But I think like especially when you're running like so many different niches and so many different kind of projects, you also understand you cannot make it for everybody. It's just, it's never gonna be like that.
And the biggest thing I've understood is like sometimes it's less about you, sometimes it's also about your about like our clients offer. Because like I used to beat
Exactly.
myself up all the
Yeah.
time. Hey, they're not getting results, you know. But again, like talk to my co-founder, my wife, like Preeti, like she would be like, hey, sometimes it could just be their offer that's not landing.
Yeah.
What can we do about it?
Yeah.
It's not like they are gonna generate customers out of thin air for themselves if they were not gonna work with someone like us.
Yeah.
And we have generated like results for other people. So is it us? Because we're doing the same thing for you that we are doing for another company that has gotten like 1,000 leads like since then. So do we really blame us for that? It's another story. If I haven't generated results for a single client, maybe then I need to question my skill. But after generating results for like so many clients that have stayed with us, like over years, a year and a half, over years, and they haven't churned, it must be something with your offer or maybe your market. And maybe some other channel might be better for you, which is okay.
Yeah. 100% agree. 100% agree. There was like, I don't know if you remember I think it was, yeah, a year or two, 1.5 years ago. Mick Abraham posted, a photo on LinkedIn where he basically had like a Lamborghini in the entrance, and behind there was this terrible house where it was all like chrome. And like, remember that
I think I
one?
remember that post. I think I do remember that
It's-
one.
I was like, this is the same thing. Like you are basically the Lamborghini with your cold email, and then the back is all this
Yeah.
pro. You know what I mean? Like it's true. Like honestly, this is so true. Like because in the end, what we do with cold email is we put more eyes on their offer. And if their offer
Hmm.
freaking sucks, then what should we do? We are not magicians, right?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, that's why we want to expand into other services as well. Let's say we know how to generate responses for someone
Hmm.
with cold email. What's the next thing? Like, you need to have a trustworthy website. You need to have a LinkedIn presence, some sort of like social
Exactly.
media presence. You need to have sales assets, case studies, testimonials.
Yes.
Like the large pharma print client I was talking about, like who's like running the premium listings material offer for real estate agents,
Yeah.
crushing it. He also has clients that he does warehousing and logistics for. He
Hmm.
has some massive clients in that space, right?
Hmm.
And we are running that offer. We already like cracked it with e-com companies that have like really heavy product that they wanna, and they're based in the East Coast, but they wanna
Hmm.
have those products already in the West Coast. So if a
Hmm.
customer buys from them, let's say for example, let's say a hot tub, that's a big product, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But they don't want to move it all the way from East Coast to West Coast. So
Hmm.
these guys offer them warehousing in the West Coast. They don't
Hmm.
have a website for it. They don't have sales assets for it.
Hmm.
But the front end offer is cracked. People are responding. They're looking for this service.
Hmm.
So build the assets around it to make it a real company.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. So that's
Yeah.
basically you going then horizontal and offer them more services.
Yeah, like I'm entertaining AI SEO, AEO, because think about it. For my label company, right? There's people probably looking for label manufacturers for
Hmm.
their breweries, for their beer, like beer bottles, for their food manufacturing, like for their food, for their packaging. They're gonna be asking ChatGPT. They are gonna be asking Claude, "Hey, help me find a label company in the US."
Hmm.
And we already know their offer. We already know their company.
Hmm.
We've already cracked their markets. We already understand their segments. We
Hmm.
are running 11 subsequent segments right now for
Hmm.
these guys.
Hmm.
We already know their offer. Could we not help them create content that lands that with AI SEO?
I agree.
Probably, because everything else can be learned as long as you know how to like talk to a market. And we talk to their market in less than 100 words, which is probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I think I love it what you're saying, because like this is so true. Like this is something that I think a lot of people that do cold email are frustrated or have been frustrated. Like when you basically writing such a good cold email and then after the process just sucks. You know what I mean? Like you have like all these positive responses and then just from there like baff, like nothing happens anymore. And it's like, okay, guys, maybe you need a VSL, maybe you need a better website, maybe you need this, maybe you need that. So you can help them with so much things, because I believe cold email alone, if the offer, this is the thing, if the offer is good, cold email is gold. If the offer sucks, again, you're not a magician. But what you can do is you can offer them more services and say like, look, because of our knowledge that we have, marketing technique and your market, we can help you to put this and this and this and this in place. So that's why I think it makes a lot of sense to go that way. Yeah, it's actually
Absolutely.
very, very smart.
Because what else are you going to do? You're running like, and you might not even have the knowledge of like how to like do proper go to market, right? And it also depends on the sophistication of the market, right? For if you're running a offer for B2B SaaS or marketing companies, their market has seen everything under the sun, basically. So you have to be more sophisticated versus a little bit more traditional companies, like pressure washing, commercial cleaning, and things like that. You develop a few assets, you are already in the top 1%.
Yeah.
So you help them with those type of like assets, they're already going to do so much better than other companies.
I agree. And specifically with these kind of things, I mean, I speak with Noah the other day. He's like, maybe I'm going to open like an info thing for an info product for this as well. And it's true, because like this is the thing, like you help them with one thing of marketing, but they need help with everything else as well. like let's be real.
Yeah, man.
Like these kind of companies, they need help with everything in the end. Like I mean, it's crazy sometimes, right? But like, yeah.
Exactly. Like for one of our clients, we were helping. He was like a direct mail marketer. So like he used to run direct mail and he had been doing that for years. So he was the ops guy, but his partner, who was the front end guy, passed away back in 2019. Ever since then, he was probably just keeping the customers, serving the customers that had worked with him for years, right? This guy back in the day ran direct mail for Microsoft, right? We generated him responses. We gave him the script to warm call, because so right now we're not doing warm calling for our clients, but for ourselves. It's working great. So we like trained him on it, but then the guy was too shy to do it. But the thing is, you have to learn how to do it. You have to get on the sales call and like literally run a proper discovery, a proper pitch, a proper closing process to get a new customer. You're going in with cold. They don't even know you. So who are you going to learn it from? We know how to do it.
Yeah.
You want to learn it?
Good. I love it, man. This is great. I mean, that was for me, honestly, because I work with, like you maybe remember, I worked with billion-dollar companies and there was no chance doing anything. And it was so frustrating for me, right? I was basically bringing them all these leads and all these things and like things. And I was like, I would love to maybe change the website, do a VSL, make this, make that. And it was never anything was working. And when I wanted to do something and really like they confirmed something, it took like 3 months to change it. I was like, it was really like, there was a disaster, because like from my side, it was working so well, but then it was just like, and I knew exactly what to do and I could not do it. That was crazy for me, right? But it's just like with these bigger companies, that's the thing. But that's why I believe for startups, that's cool, because maybe they are open to it, right? And they're like, okay, why not? They, especially in this sector where you work with, I believe they're grateful if somebody comes in and says, look, I help you with the other stuff as well.
Exactly. Like we have a client he's a lawyer and he has started a startup, basically like a AI startup for legal practices. They were named one of the best tech startups in the legal space by their association, like the Bar Association. But this guy doesn't know how to run funnels, how to design a cold email funnel, how to do these things. So we're helping him out with that. We're getting responses for him, but those responses are not converting. So we're like, okay, you need to like do a demo process. You need to have like a product demo, like a short video and things like that. And let's experiment further. Now we know we can generate responses for your offer. But why are they not signing up? Let's figure out that problem, because that's the next bottleneck to go after. And if you don't work with us, you still have to figure it out. And I'm pretty sure that you're busy building the product. Like he is one person with his co-founder, who's the legal guy. I'm sorry, who's the technical guy, and they have a cold caller in the team. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out. We know a whole lot of stuff. You know your product. You still need this knowledge. So that's what we are going to do with these guys. They have been with us for like about 2.5 months, and we're gonna like pitch them on these things. Let us help you out because at the end of the day, making money is good. You know, you can like get your retainer and all that stuff. But if the person is not getting results, it's still just a better transaction for you. But if you make the money and they get more users, they get more money for themselves, it turns into a case study, which helps you get more clients. I love getting case studies because like when I share like in our own funnel, we share case studies and client interviews with every prospect. And we have converted most of those because of those marketing assets that we had generated. So that's part of the funnel, right? We had designed it that way.
Interesting. All right, interesting. Obviously, like for the guys that don't know, so he works together with Pretty, his wife, so they're running this together. And I'm generally interested about, like, for example, like how you split work. Like, for example, new client, who writes the copy? Do you come together? It's like, let's do copy together, or like how does it work?
So what we figured out is like Preeti, we both started on Clay. So there's few different things that we do, right? We naturally figured, okay, I'm good at strategy, I'm good at understanding the market, I'm good at messaging, right? She started to be really good at it because like she had previous experience in like on spreadsheets and Excel. So Clay came naturally to her, right? So she took up that like portion of the things. So like lead sourcing, list building, APIs and all of those things. So when a client comes, we onboard them together, right? Then we run the strategy. I like think about what we need to do. We run the strategy together. She focuses on the lead sourcing. I focus on the copywriting.
Okay.
Now we have team members to do the lead sourcing for us who run Clay operations and things like that. So we have more bandwidth to do the strategy together, you know, and then look at what components are working, what's not working. So she is really focused on operations of the team, while I'm focused on strategy and what needs to be said to the market and copywriting and like those aspects. Plus, I do the sales calls and I do the post positive response things. So like everything from like sales calls to then closing the customer or bringing on a new client. Then we do the onboarding together. After that, I take on the strategy and copywriting, and she with the team runs the ops to do list building and things like that.
Okay. And you do all the strategy and the copy you do by yourself.
Yeah. And we are trying to find someone who can do that. So one of our team members is really good. He's a very technical guy, amazing at Clay, amazing at Claude, amazing at anti-gravity and like with APIs and things like that. But he is showing a lot of interest in doing copywriting. So I'm trying to like train him along with Preeti and like him together so that I can kind of like pull myself out of that so I can spend more time doing sales calls, doing follow-ups, like looking at what our next services and things are going to be basically.
Because I mean, this is the one thing, right, that I'm always thinking, like, in the end, especially call email, it's all about the copy. I mean, you can do everything else. I mean, the targeting obviously is also super important, but this is all stuff that you can teach to other people. You know what I mean? But what it's hard to teach is copy.
Yeah, copy is hard to teach, man. Like, especially when it comes to like the taste things, because like, of course, anyone is gonna like look at ChatGPT and like you can feed it all the templates, you can feed it all the good copy, but what sounds good and does it have the proper outcome? Is it absolutely clear? Does it have a proper flow to it so that when someone is reading it, it's almost sounding like, okay, a person is speaking to you. Do you have the proper problem questions and things like that to like frame your offer around that, to present your offer as a solution to a problem? Like different CTAs, what sounds the least resistant to a person? These things come from taste and take time to kind of like teach someone, you know. Which is why like a lot of times like we run the QA before we launch any campaign, we do the QA together, right? And I do that with Preeti and like one of our team members that I'm talking about, so that they can start to pick up on why would I change a word and I would like say this versus that. How would I like do the phrasing? Why would I use so you can statements? So it's more about them and benefits rather than features. So little things so that I can like impart that knowledge. But then I've been finding it really hard to like make it formulaic, right? So I'm gonna start to like document those things myself, because when it comes to like list building, you know what the end goal is. It's emails, and verified contacts. There's a proper process to that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to strategy and copywriting, it is tough. It is tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to teach as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm so curious about it, because I remember also me. I remember when I came in agency velocity, and I and I wrote my first copy, and remember Rob was correcting us with everything, and he is a genius in copy, right? And
He's good. He was good.
I
Yeah.
sent him my first stuff, and he just said, "Jonas, that sucks." Oh my God. Like, but I'm super grateful that he said that, because that was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I like, what can I do to get better? And he told me read all the big ones, right? Like, this one's like this one is the Bible and all that kind of, the real
Yeah.
copywriting bit, right?
I mean, direct response, right? Cold
Yeah,
email is direct response. So like study direct response, study copywriting
exactly.
elements,
Yeah.
study ad copy. I love like reading ad copy because
Uh-huh.
that means someone's putting money behind it.
Yeah.
Someone's spending $10,000 a day. Like
Yeah.
some of the masterminds we go to right now, these guys are spending $10,000 a day on ad copy and ad creative.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not converting, why would someone be putting that kind of money? Like that's 100K, like some like 150K a month some people are spending.
Yeah.
So I love reading that ad copy, because then if ad copy is working that way, the psychological principles are still the same. It's still direct response. Could I use those elements in email copy? Of course I can,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as long
Yeah,
as I can deliver.
this is a good one, because like a lot of people also say, and also Rob said this in the old times also, direct response is not cold email copy. This is also that there's also a difference, right? That you cannot put a direct response into copy. But like the general thing about copywriting is something that you just need to study, and like that you need to study all the big ones, like you said, right? And read all the books, and then learn from all the ones that are really making already money with it. And then it's really, that's why I said, like, you can study all of that stuff, but I think there's still some kind of talent. If you don't have it, you're never gonna get good at it. Like, I mean,
You have to develop it. You
yeah,
have to like look at all the cold email.
yeah,
Let's say you study the like psychological principles, you study the like direct response material, right? You now know how to like design those things. But then there's a channel factor too, right? Like when you like do direct response for, let's say, meta ads, you have copy to deliver it, you have the creative to deliver it, you could do video, you could do static image, but then email, you only have text.
yeah,
And on top of that, there is a way of doing direct response on email. So you have to understand the mechanics of the channel as well.
yeah, I agree.
The elements are the same, but still, like you also like need to understand what is unique about this channel and what works on this channel to make it work.
100%. And like one thing that you said that still stood out for me, and this is something that also when I look back, when I had emails that got like, I sent 40,000 emails out and I get 1,000 positive, 40,000 clients got 1,000 positive responses, for example. And this emails always has been the emails that had the best flow. Like flow for me is like in cold email, like from my personal experience, it's the most important thing. If the email doesn't flow, don't even bother to send it out.
It's everywhere right now, right? Because like people's attention spans are getting lower and lower, which means any content that you put out has to be more scannable and more scannable, which means you have to get to the gist of it as quickly as possible. Because if you think about it, when people are reading books, they're scanning. So there has to be a flow. So if they skip a few words, they still get the gist of it. So same with email. Can you skim through and get the gist of it? What am I saying to you regarding your business, regarding a problem? What's my solution? And what am I asking you to do? Am I asking you to reply yes? Am I asking you to think about something? Am I asking you to go to a certain page or anything like that, right? So the flow is really important, because when there's flow, you can skip words and still get to the gist of it. Basically.
So if you, I believe you're really good at copywriting. So if you could, if somebody's watching this, and they want to become really good at copywriting as well, like what advice would you give them specifically regarding cold email?
Regarding cold email, there's like a couple. First is scannability. Can I read your cold email in less than 10 seconds and get the gist of it again? Second is more you versus I. It's again less about you versus them. So there has to be more you. Everything has to be pointed towards them. The CTA has to be like low resistance. And there, of course, has to be a flow to it. And you also need to understand your market that you're speaking with. And at the end of the day, test. And the biggest principle is, how can you communicate what you're offering in the least amount of words possible? That's cold email for you, basically.
I love it, man. It's a great summary. And speak about testing, obviously, also because that's also a big one. Like when you're starting like a new client, let's say, for example, how much different angles or campaigns you are testing, just to get an idea?
I would say like anywhere between 5 to 10 different angles. And then that's ongoing, Like for the client that I was talking about that we have generated like 1,075 like leads so far. We cracked that campaign from the 16th day. We launched their 15th, like we launched their campaign 15th day. We started getting leads. We got 40 leads in a single day, 42 leads in a single day for them on Easter Sunday last year. And then we messed it up. When we went to a different segment,
Really?
we wrote different set of copy that didn't work. And I was doing new copy for new segments. And then it was not working. And then I studied the one that was working. And then I remodeled it to every other segment. Offer stayed the same. CTA stayed the same. Just the problem statement that I opened the email with changed based on segment. And it started to work. And ever since then, we haven't changed the copy. Everything's the same other than the first line of the email, which is the problem statement or poke the bear question that we ask. Right? So for them, we don't even test anymore. We tested one thing since in the past 6 months. I learned from Taylor Harron, he was doing reply yes for his software clients. I was like, sure, let's try that. I tested the same copy and with the same CTA, but then just said reply yes and I'll send more info. And we started to see yes.
Oh wow, that works. Interesting. A lot of people say that doesn't work. That's interesting.
And we A/B tested it. Like we literally like changed nothing, just reply yes, and I'll send you pricing sheet or I'll send you more information. And for this guy, it worked. Same with our other client, like for the real estate, like the offer that we run to like real estate agents, and like that people say yes. Cool. And it's easy. Because then they don't have to think about what do I respond with. Do I say sure? Do I say yes, I want more information? You just put that thought in their head. If you're interested, just reply yes. It works. The only place it does not work is if we are sending to a more sophisticated buyer that might have pattern recognition firewalls on their side as spam filters, which will harm the deliverability.
But otherwise, it does work. Interesting, because so many people say you should not do the film cold email.
I thought the same.
Interesting. Yeah, right. That's what everybody told us. That's why I'm glad.
That's why you should. That's why you should A/B test. That's why you should A/B test. And then I also know like who the good people are, who the goats are in the market, who are doing like high volume and they're generating results. And if they say something, I'm like, let's test.
Cool. I love it, man. This is great. Awesome, man. The thing is, like, because we both so long in the space already, like, when did you start cold email? 2020, 2021?
No, late 2022.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And like I always like to ask the question, like, what has changed since you started?
About cold email?
Yeah.
It's gotten tougher, man. Deliverability has gotten tougher, and it's going to get tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
And the amount of positive responses you can generate for the number of leads has gone up, of course. It's harder to like get attention in the inbox. And that's it. But the thing is, it's going to be getting more challenging. That means you need to get more inboxes, need to do more volume for the same amount of results that you could get 3 years ago. Meaning your cost per book call is going to go up. It's no different than ads though. Why? There's more ads in the market. More people are running the same offers in the market. It's easier to steal offers and run the same offer because you can just go to Facebook ads library and steal other people's copy, steal other people's creative, and run the same offer in their market, which means the cost per lead or cost per qualified call is going to go up. But people start to think that it's cold email. The number of responses you get for the same amount of leads is not as good anymore. That means the channel is not working. but then they fail to compare it to ads or anything else. Content. Everyone's creating content. There's more noise. Isn't this all the same stuff that people say about cold email?
Yeah.
There's more noise. How can we get through the noise? Same with content. There's more people creating content. Same with ads. There's more people creating ads.
Mhm.
You know, so there's no difference. Cost per call and is not just in terms of money. Cost per call in terms of effort is also going up.
Yeah.
Because you have to test more creative on ads. You have to test more content, what works for you. Same, you have to test more copy. But the good thing is no one can steal your copy. Once it works, it works.
Mhm.
Unless you share it outside of the inbox.
Yeah, exactly. That's the different story, right? Do you do ads as well, guys? Or
No, not yet, but we want to get into it. We want to get into it. Because then over time, like what our big agencies are doing, they understand markets, then they start to introduce more services to the same market.
Mhm.
Because if my label manufacturer guy is running cold email, getting good responses from that, he's paying another marketing agency that he fired and then is now looking for a new one based on what we said.
Yeah.
That means if we had that service, he would have just bought from us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And why did you not directly say then, look, you know what, we'll do it?
That's what we're arriving at. Like in the last call, I gave him pointers on his AI SEO and AEO because I know what's working right now. We don't have an offer, but now he's in a stage where I can offer it to him because we have made him money.
Yeah.
And he trusts us more than his marketing agency that had been with them for 5 years.
Yeah. 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 Yeah,
And then
exactly. I mean,
he,
yeah, go on, sorry.
no, so he talked to Preeti and then he told Preeti that he fired them
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we have just been getting better results for them with cold email versus whatever they were doing with SEO and PPC.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, like that's what I mean. Like, especially in the situation you guys are with the startups that you're doing and stuff like this, that they need help with everything. I think it's a very smart move to open your services more and basically give them more what they need because like you see, right? Like you're doing everything right, and then they work with another marketing agency and they fuck up the thing in the like I always love to see like when I was delivering leads before to my clients, okay, let's say I brought them, I don't know, 35 leads, right? Or 35 calls a month, okay? And then in the end of the month, I see like 2 closes. I'm like, what's going on, right? I'm like, what's going on after the point when people come from me basically and say like, yes, I want to have this call. What's happening afterwards, okay? And then I checked, man, and I was like, I want to observe the process because I was like, I want to understand what's going on. I want to help you because obviously, otherwise they say after 2 months, AI is not bringing results for us. I'm like, yeah, I bring you results, but like what's happening afterwards doesn't bring you results.
Yeah.
And it was a company that this is an ERP service for e-commerce, right? And basically,
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, remember that one.
I remember that.
You remember that one exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So, yeah. So what I did with them was basically like I was like, "What's going on? Like, I don't understand." And they were like, before they closed any kind of contract or whatsoever, they had this call with this technical assistant. That I mean, if you know that guy, well, you're Indian as well, but this guy basically was sitting in India and he spoke no English whatsoever. And he had his camera off and they basically had this call with him and it was a disaster. Like, they talked to a black screen, right? This guy was like not even showing his screen. And I was in there because I was basically a fly on the wall to understand what's going on. I was like, I would also not book another college. It's so complicated. Nobody understands nothing. And that's why everybody died. And then as soon as we changed that, like where I said, like, look, first of all, close the contract first, because when the contract is closed, they go mailing him through this process. And second, the guy has to switch on his camera and look normal. I mean, like that's the only thing. And tuck, they closed like 15 or something instead of 2. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean, like going through the process and understanding, okay, look, there's the bottleneck, because that's something that I always did, because I was frustrated very often, like I said, that I brought so much. I was like, what I do is great, like, but like, why my clients are not getting results? And that's when I always investigated the journey. I'm like, okay, wow, there's the bottleneck. And this is something that
Yeah.
you can really offer your clients as well when they are not getting results. And that's I'm telling to everybody watching this. When you are doing a great job and your client's not getting a return of investment, what you can offer them is say, like, okay, let me analyze the process, what's happening from the moment that I'm basically bringing you the leads to where they should normally close. What's going on there? If I can observe that, I can help you that you close more. And you will always find the bottlenecks, because very
Yeah,
often
man.
they're super obvious.
Seriously. Like one of our clients, he does packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
For cannabis companies or food companies, right? And this guy has been in the industry for like 25 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has clients that spend like anywhere between $1 million to $8 million a year with him in packaging and physical marketing material. This guy just has gotten so far customers from trade shows and referrals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even know how to talk about his offer or what he does. It was so hard to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to us. He was like, okay, I wanted to test this out because I want to exit my company one day.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a company. Like you would be surprised, people doing millions of dollars a year are still, and who have been in the market for years on end, and they're still the company, which means that he can't exit his company
Mm-hmm.
because he is the company.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a portfolio of like how much, how many ever, like ever, like how much ever, like much, like millions of revenue he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna die. He can't exit it because he doesn't have a sales call funnel, or he doesn't have a marketing funnel. He doesn't have a customer acquisition funnel that can get customers without him.
Mm-hmm. Crazy,
So,
man.
okay, it's crazy.
Well, respect to that. I mean, honestly, but like, maybe you work yourself to death, maybe, but like, but I mean, it's still crazy. Yeah, but like,
It's
it's
crazy.
just
But how are
a
you
kind
gonna
of
exit?
mindset, you know?
Exactly. Which means you
Mm-hmm.
need a customer acquisition channel. You need to package your stuff in an offer that your customer can understand. You know, all of these things are so important. So
Mm-hmm.
even if we generate leads for him, first of all, which has been very challenging for this guy
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't have an offer. So we are working on the offer. So if you're not, right now not seeing leads, which he actually is sporadically, that means there's signal in the market, which means it's only been 3 months. We should be working longer to figure this out for you. Because if you don't, you will be starting from scratch again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And when we have the like chat with him to for him to like continue with us, because like we do like 3 month contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 month like incentive pricing. This is what I'm gonna say. Be like, hey man, you're seeing leads come in.
Mm-hmm.
You still needed to package your offer. You still need a customer acquisition channel that is not reliant on you so that
Mm-hmm.
you can exit it one day. Am
Mm-hmm.
I not providing more value? Because it's not just about, hey, like I do cold email for you. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm packaging your offer. I'm trying to figure out what's in your head to get it out of your head,
Mm-hmm.
package it into something that the market can respond to, and
Mm-hmm.
test it with different segments of the market that you can serve.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself is valuable.
Yeah,
If he doesn't see the
absolutely.
value, that's another story. He's just gonna churn. But if he does see the value, we can test for longer. We can figure something out. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. 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 I think you're super right. And this is also something, for example, that I'm sometimes wondering. I mean, like you and me know this, right? Where like when people hire you, okay, they hire you for a reason. So you because sometimes the guys they are like, I don't know if I'm really like, I'm on their level or because they're making millions and da da da. They hire you for a reason. And they hire you most of the time because they don't know how to fucking do their marketing, because otherwise they would not hire you, right? And so that's why like you should always feel like an expert because you are an expert. That's the point,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And most of the
It's
time, what
tough
you
though.
bring to the table is much more than like, because like next thing, and this we know this because we have been in agency velocity and people studied marketing, like they studied marketing for 3 years. They came in agency velocity. It's like I learned more in 3 months than I learned in 3 years of studies. And like I think like the stuff that we are learning, like especially us, that we are always always on the newest stuff and da 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 in marketing, we are very very high level, right? And like there's not a lot of these high level guys in these big companies because they just study from school. They know shit.
Man, it's tough though, because like you're not talking to the market. You know, the biggest thing is again like the fear of getting rejected. It's
Yeah.
still this day, sometimes if I have like a slow month or something like that, doubts and questions and like fear starts to like creep in,
Yeah.
and it starts to like affect the close rate and everything,
Yeah.
right? Versus when you're feeling good about yourself. And it takes a while to like develop your gut, develop your stomach to say a price and be okay with it. You know, like when we started, it was hard for me to say 3K. It will be 3K a month. Now, like we are doing like I pitched 12K, 10.5K, 9K for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Easy.
And people say yes,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it took me a while to like be able to like develop that stomach to be able to like say 10K, 12K and not
Yeah.
hesitate.
Yeah. Wow. There we obviously on the topic also that obviously is a big topic for me, which is mindset, right? And like especially also with pricing and in general with everything, like people buy you at the end. That's the one thing, right? And
Yeah, man.
also like remember some time ago, Levi had a really cool email where he spoke about authority, where he said like, you know what, this is what people are like. There's people that are like starting cold email, doing 5K retainers just out of the box. Why? Because they're maybe not even better than you, far away better than you, but they just fucking believe in themselves. They just say like, look, I'm here, I'm this is my price, and that's it. So that's why mindset is like everything, right? And this is maybe for sure also something that you can tell maybe also people like how has been the journey for you basically from starting out doing like 3K and stuff like this and really going through the steps, and how important has your mindset been in this whole journey?
I would say the most important thing, man, like conviction has been the most important thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever it is like the belief, the faith, or like conviction is low or the mindset is not working that way, client results like dip, you start to doubt yourself more, which makes you work less, take less action, and it affects everything. It affects the business altogether, even your team for that matter. You know,
Big
at
one.
first, Preeti and I were just working like by ourselves, so we were affecting each other.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start to see like if you're feeling low for a week, your team starts to like not perform as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're feeling good and if your customers are getting results, your team will start to like work better as well. And
Mm-hmm.
mindset is so important, especially if you have a team or even alone for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not keeping your mindset in check, it gets so hard, man. It gets so hard to like work. It gets so hard to believe in yourself. And then your just business takes a dip, which is like a spiral, right? One thing goes off, it goes off to the next thing, it goes off to the next thing, and
Yeah.
before you know, your business is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why like mindset is so important, because like you have to also look at other people. Be like, if someone's making it work, then it must be you that's not making it work. So you need to work on you, because the business is working for other people. And if it's a skill issue, then you need to identify your skill that is lacking to improve that. But your skill and you as a person are two different things. And that's the hardest thing to like kind of like separate. Because then you start to doubt the person rather than the skill. But if you see the person and the skill like separately, you can believe in yourself as a person. Hey, I can figure things out. And then you can see which skill am I lacking, and then you can start to improve on that. And then you can put the reps in, you can study more, you can test it more, and then create more evidence and go up from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, when it comes to belief and skills, like you just have to get to the next level to make yourself believe what you thought was possible is actually possible, so that you can like set the next one and the next one, you know? Because like for us at first, even though Preeti and I were making like more than 10K in our jobs, it was so hard to do it in business. Once we did that, then the next target became 30K. Once we created the evidence for 30K, the next target became 50K. Once we created the evidence, okay, we can do 50K in a month, we can charge 12K and stuff like that, 10K and stuff like that, and close people. That means we just need to do more of that to get to 80K
Mm-hmm.
and 100K, like a month, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it never goes down. It's just that you stop to believe again,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm. And how was that for you? Because I mean, like one thing that I really see a lot in the space, right? And you also know that, like, so many are really always going like with the agencies between 7 and 8K until 15K, and they always go a little bit up and down, up and down, up and down, but very few really boom go to the next step. Like, what has been for you, especially the mindset or an identity thing, where it clicked for you, where you just did that job?
I mean, at a certain point, there's only so much context you can manage in your head, right? So that means you're managing 3 or 4 or 5 clients, let's say. Usually it starts to like happen at like either 3 clients or 5 clients or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're alone or if you're two people, it starts to become hard because you're managing different conversations in your head, different strategies in your head. And then at that point, you're not only trying to grow your business, but 5 people's businesses at the same time, right? And you started to perform less for one business, and then you started out yourself, and then you dip for other people, and then clients start to churn, and then you start to stay stuck at that level. At that point, you need to get help, right? You need to have team members, or at this point, if you're really good, you need to have like AI skills so that you can do the same work faster for different people. But for that, you need the productized service, right? That you're doing the same thing for every single person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then if you are capped, of course, you're going to burn out and you're going to stay stuck at like 15K to 20K and stuff like that. Which is why after a certain point, like either you get more people or you get more efficient at what you do. Because if those two things don't happen, results will dip, and then your mindset will take a dip. Because then you will start to like believe less in yourself, basically. So these are all things that are working in parallel, but it still starts with the mindset. You know, you believe something, you need to create evidence of it in reality so that you can believe it more before you can go to the next step. But the thing is, you have to kind of like keep growing. Even if you go from 15K to like 12K, you have to get back to like 15K and then 16, 17K or 18K to hit 20K. If you hit like dip from 20K to like 18K, you have to get back to 20K and then 25K. So that again, like you still have the highs and lows, but you are trending this way rather than trending down, basically.
Yeah. There's only growth or die.
Or entropy, right? Because everything's dying. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing is stagnant. If there's paint on the wall, it's not going to look fresh forever. You're either maintaining the paint on the wall and like putting fresh paint on, or it's going to look dirty in a year or so. So there's nothing like it's going to stay stagnant. It's always either growing or dying.
And you guys also, like, I think that's one more very important part is also obviously always to keep your outreach switched on, right? Because so many of these guys also they switch.
Oh man, seriously, we made that mistake so much. Last year we were stuck at like 4 or 5 clients and stuff like that, right? And the biggest thing was like we'll get clients and we're like, okay, now focus to like we're now proving.
We have to focus. We have to figure it out for them, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
We did that this year. We got new clients, and we realized this last month that our outreach is going down. So we set the campaigns, and then there's less leads. So we now need to get back on it.
Yeah.
But you can't stop it. That's the thing. You have to constantly think about it every single month, every like 2 weeks. Like, is the pipeline being fed? Is your own pipeline being fed? If not, then you need to do something. You need to like get on top of it.
I think it's essential because like this is something that I see with so many people that like I just created a tool. I can send this over next after to you. It's called the revenue seeding mirror, right? It's like basically an AI mirror that you talk to, and it finds out what is your biggest blocker. Just really
that's cool, man.
Right?
That's cool.
I gotta send it over to you. This guy really
yeah, do that. That's
like
cool.
One of the bottlenecks that is one of the blockers is fear of failure. So basically, like you have a few clients, okay, and like now I need to first of all perform for them because I cannot fail for them. You know what I mean? And that's where you step everything, you stop your outreach, and then obviously you lose one of them or two of them, and boom, you die. And they're like, oh my god, and now I need to do outreach again. And it's always just like it's always this up and down. But it's just because you are like having this kind of fear of failure that like even you have sometimes 5, 6 clients and you don't perform for 2, you're so stuck with these 2 clients because you don't perform for them and put all your energy into them. And you completely forget to grow, and it's a massive problem, I believe.
Happens to this day with me. Like the biggest thing, it's less about risk of failure or like fearing failure. It's more about like fearing your reputation going down. You made a promise to someone, right? You made a promise to someone. I'm gonna get you. You give me money. I'm gonna make you more money. I'm gonna get you more leads. That's not happening. You're basically thinking what that person is not thinking of you. It's a reputation thing. It's less about the fear of failure because like if you fail with your thing, you can like start again. Some people get stuck there, but when you're making a promise to someone else, your reputation is now at risk, which is why we get so stuck. Because now you have to prove a point to them, be like, hey, if I promise that I'm good, I am good. Which is the hardest one to do. And you can't let your confidence take a hit. Happens to this day. Like, believe it or not.
Yeah, obviously, but nobody is like, bro, like me neither. Like, I think we're all human, right? But I think one thing that you have to learn with time is just also like that you are like, and I think that's such an important part. This is I just made like a reel about this last week, where it's just like never ever let your results attack your energy levels.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that
essential.
is
Like
so true.
you have to, because if you do that and you let yourself go, you're fucked, man. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
you know,
Because then you can't take action. Because what is the only thing that you can do to improve a situation?
yeah,
Do something about it. And if
exactly.
you don't have the energy or the faith to do something about it, then you're not going to do anything about it. That
Yeah,
means you either stay stuck or again die from that point
yeah, yeah,
forward. You know,
exactly. Oh, that's
so
why.
so crucial.
No, I think it's everything, right? So like the in general, like, you know, you have to see it also, like you can see it as like I'm losing, or you can really see it as a challenge. Like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make this happen. You know, like this is like the different kind of mindset to say like, oh my God, I'm so bad, I cannot figure it out for them. Yeah, trust me, you're never gonna fucking figure it out for them. But when you say like, you know what, this is a challenge, I'm really gonna make it happen, you know, but also I don't let my general thing, like you should never think less about yourself as a person just because you cannot,
Yeah.
you know, bring results to your clients. This is my point. And that's also something that unfortunately I see a lot, you know, that people are like, I don't know if I can really bring results. And I'm like, maybe you cannot bring results for this guy, but you have 4 other clients that you bring results. So
Yeah,
why the
yeah.
fuck you even think in this direction?
Exactly, man. Harder said that done. That's why, like, whenever I like look at people on YouTube or something like that who are ahead, I love the people who talk about the failures and the bad times too, because then you can contrast, be like, okay, this person has gone through stuff too, and then they made it out. Because that means there's always a silver lining at the end of the day, right? So you need to focus on that. But they did something to get out of the hole. You can't keep digging the hole further down. You have to like get out of it, you know. So which is why it's so important to like. I feel like that's what like you need to like really be aware of your moods and feelings
Mhm.
so that you don't let it dip, because that's going to dictate your energy.
Yeah, that's so important. Absolutely. And also how fast you bounce back, because you get hit in the face, you get hit in the
Yeah,
buttocks,
man.
you get hit every day, you get like bah, 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 bah. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? And if you just like, oh, and you stay on the floor, then you're not gonna go anywhere. But like the faster you bounce, specifically also in entrepreneurship, you know, the more successful you will become, especially also short term, mid-term and long term. But I think it's an essential skill, just that you like all the time get back up fast. Like, don't take me wrong, don't suppress your emotions. Like, this is the last thing that you should do. Like, for example, if I get a real bad hit, I have like a bounce back protocol that I created for myself, right? And like, for example, I lost a big client or something like this. Like, there's this first things that I do is normally I go off for a run, I go to the gym where I just really kill
Yeah, man.
myself and it's just really like, you know, this. And then I come back and then I sit down in a just take a white paper and really like old school, write down just everything that just happened to me, da 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 da, and then I make a new plan and duck duck duck, and that's basically how I manage things. Because everything
No, that's
else is
great.
just, you know. Oh wait, one thing I forgot. I go to the gym and then I go into nature also. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like go gym, boom, 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 go run, go kill yourself in the gym, whatever, come back, go into nature, go just like I go to the beach for an hour or something like this. And then I come back and then I write down things. And then I have clarity again, you know, because that's the most important thing. It's so easy to get overwhelmed in the emotions, and then you go doom scroll or do some shit, do everything to just not feel the emotion. And then that's the worst thing that you can do.
All great things, man. I would do the same things in exact order, because the thing is
Mhm.
like your feeling is stuck in the body. So
Mhm.
to shake the feeling, literally to shake the feeling, you need to like move the body.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, go to the gym. Nature is great because it makes you feel better. And then at the end of the day, you need to let your body and your mind process the emotion and let it fade.
Mhm.
And while you're doing that, you just need to remember, okay, I'm going to get out of it, the emotion first, and then do something about this. And then you, of course, like create the plan. And at the end of the day, the question again remains is like something I always ask to myself, and then Preeti and I always like ask each other, like, what else is the alternative? Are you just gonna stop doing it?
Mhm.
Are you just gonna stop running the business,
Mhm.
or figure it out? Even if
Mhm.
you are in a, I don't know, like in a hole right now, or whatever the case might be, or if you're in a slump, or if you had a failure, like
Mhm.
what else is the option?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it is part of the game. You need to really, like, I think this is the thing in our education system, the problem as well, that failing is such a bad thing. But I mean, I don't know if you saw the Layla Hormozi thing where she last time said, I failed so often that, you know, I felt like what you said, how she met Alex. It's like I had so many bad dates that there had to be a good one after some time.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, like,
failing often is good. You just need to make sure that you're learning from those things as well,
mhm,
so that you can improve your behavior over time
mhm,
about
mhm,
anything for that matter, you know?
mhm. Mm.
And the faster you can change behavior, because at the end of the day, like that's what actions are, right? But your behavior are like general actions that you do on a daily basis, and that's what you can keep track of. So if you can like generally improve your behavior, it's going to create better outcomes
Mm,
for you.
mm. Yeah. And the next thing is like, especially when you want to grow, okay, there will always be failure. Like if you just stuck in your comfort zone, okay, and you all the time do the same thing, yeah, maybe you're not failing, okay, but you're also not growing. That's the funny
Yeah,
story. And if you do something new and you try something new, you're never gonna be immediately like I say, for example, right now, let's say you want to open your services further and all of that stuff. So you're basically going into new territories. All right, so you maybe gonna do a completely new thing. So maybe you're gonna fail a little bit this, a little bit there, but at least you're growing. And this is the thing, right?
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. And that's why like the comfort zone is such a, I feel like the 15 to 20K mark is such an interesting place, because that's where you kind of like money wise, you kind of feel good. You kind of
Yeah,
are
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It becomes so hard to like get out of that, because then month over month, you're like, okay, you're kind of like keeping clients, retainers are coming in, but then you need to like create the pain of like, okay, I need to get better. I need to like hit the new number or whatever the case might be, for whatever reason it might be. If you don't have those reasons, like I have very specific reasons that I want to like hit 80K, 100K, and then go
Mm-hmm.
after
Mm-hmm.
even beyond that, right? Once I
Mm-hmm.
hit 80K, 100K. But if you don't have those reasons, then the reasons that are creating pain in the moment, then you won't do that. And then you won't prime yourself to even fail in the process,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What
So,
are your reasons for outcome? Because obviously I'm super interested always. Like, what's like your North stuff or what are you doing all that?
the biggest one is, man, like, I'm just seeing too many good people out there. That's one of the biggest ones. Like, if your algorithm is dialed in into what you're like really wanting to do, I want to get better at business, which is like again a set of different skills that you need to get better at to overall get better at business.
Yeah.
Like right now, you can watch content from people who are at a million month, a million a year, to all the way to a million a month, even beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at those people speak and the kind of things that they're doing in life, it's like, and if you have the chops for it, if you have the affinity to be that way, it becomes your North Star naturally. If you are the kind of person who wants to keep growing,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like getting in shape. You get in certain shape, you're good,
Mm-hmm.
but then you look at another person and it's like a very competitive mindset. I used to be like not about competitive mindset, but then I've really embraced the competition in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that I need to be competitive, and I am a competitive person. And back in the day, 2, 3 years ago, I used to say like there's enough to go around and you should not be competing with other people. You should not be comparing with other people.
Interesting.
But then I changed that, because then I started to look at other people, because the comparison, people say comparison is a thief of joy. Yes, if you let it be thief of joy, right? Because if you think about it, the 4 minute mile by Roger Bannister, if he hadn't done that, other people wouldn't have started doing it,
Mm.
which means people compare. If one person did the 4 minute mile, I compared my time with them, and then now I need to beat that, which is why then even high schoolers start to do 4 minute mile. Comparison is the only way to set new standards,
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
unless you are the
absolutely.
standard,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone right now who's thinking, oh, I'm doing a million a year, and if they think they are the standard, they're very wrong. It only takes one YouTube video to humble you.
Mm-hmm.
And look at a person who's doing a million a month,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh shit, what are they doing that I am not? Or what are they good at that I am not, that I need to learn and improve at?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just be comfortable with a million a year or half a million a year, 500K a year, whatever the case might
Mm-hmm.
be. If you're comfortable, that's okay. You need to decide that for yourself. I am not, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already thinking, who are the guys ahead? What are they doing? Because at the end of the day, for me, it's very much about the money, because money really unlocks a whole lot of things for you in life,
Mm-hmm.
but also about the person you have to become to be able to like make that much money, the
Mm-hmm.
skills you need to learn, the kind of people you need to hire. You need to develop yourself to be able to like develop your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, are you really building the business, or is the business building you?
Mm-hmm.
And if the business is also building you, do you really have any reason not to pursue further?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it, man. That's really great.
You know,
And like, I think because like I want to stay a little bit on this because I think it's a big disease that a lot of people are having that are basically thinking they are watching these guys, okay, And it's like, yeah, but I'm still not there, and that's why they're fed up, and that's why they're upset with themselves, and they're like, I'm not like I'm not as good as them, and blah blah blah. That's the completely wrong way of seeing
Oh yeah.
kind of things, right?
No,
But like you
absolutely.
see it, and it's the same way like I see it. It's like, okay, look, this is inspiring. And that's a
Yeah.
completely different story. If this is inspiring you, I was like, fuck me, like I can, and you know what I always think, like I look at them, I was like, what's so different about them about me? Like, why should I not make this happen? You know what I mean? Like, look at
Exactly,
some
man.
of them, you're like, bro, the fuck, man, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not about, it's not about IQ or whatever. Like these guys have maybe like half of your IQ, you know what I mean? But they just do something different than you do, and like you just need to, like, you can learn. I think you can always learn from everybody. And
Oh yeah.
that's like that's the way, like you said it, like inspiring, exactly, that you see like, okay, what, like you need to, like you said, the question that you asked, I think I really like this, like, okay, what do they different? That's the right question to ask. Not this like, whoa, why I'm not like this. That's the wrong question to ask. The right question
Yeah.
is to ask, what do they different, right?
Exactly, man.
What
They're
can I
probably
learn
like
from them?
what can I learn from them? They're probably like reading different stuff, which I'm not reading yet, or they're like consuming different information, which I'm not consuming yet. They're probably using their time differently, which I'm not doing yet, you know, because again, if they also have 24 hours, I also have 24 hours. I'm pretty sure they're using their time better than I am in
Mhm.
one way or another. So what is it? Can I do it? What was different between when I was doing 3K a month versus hitting 50K months?
Mhm.
Something had to change, right?
Mhm.
Which means the same thing has to happen. Things have to change for like hitting 100K months and then beyond.
Mhm.
But then you can't unlock that unless you look at information around you from just better people. Athletes do it all the time. They look at other athletes, they look at what they're eating, how they're training, so that they can become better athletes.
Mm, mhm, mhm. I love that, man. What would you say? Like, what has changed in the Braca doing 3K to the Braca now today?
The biggest one is bigger hunger, more conviction, uh, repetition, so that what used to take you thought and effort to do a thing becomes natural and need to do more of. It's the same going to the gym, right? When I started the gym, I couldn't do, let's say, 5 pull-ups. Now I can do, let's say, 32 pull-ups in a single set.
Mm, mhm,
What changed? Now, when I started, I used to think, can I do that much? Or am I even cut out for the gym? Can I even build a better body?
mhm,
Now I don't need to think about those things. When I'm doing handstand push, I don't need to think about that because I've done it. I've done 2 handstand push-ups. I've done 12 handstand push-ups. Even if I stop training handstand push-ups for a year, I can just get back into it, start from 2 again, and build up from there.
mhm,
Same with business. Like, okay, so was I doing enough sales calls? Why were the sales calls not happening? Because I was not doing enough outreach, which means outreach is a habit. You need to do more outreach, right? You need to like test more scripts. You need to test more copy. You need to test more offers. Once you see something working, you have more sales calls. Get better at sales calls. Do more sales calls. Look at all the discovery, pitch, all the mechanisms, different frameworks that you have. Study it. Make different changes. Get more on it.
mhm,
Get better, start to close better. Your habit stacking. So you are finding something, doing more of it, getting better at it, finding the next thing, doing more of it, so that you can habit stack all the way down to from 6 a.m. to like 6 p.m. every day. So in the same amount of time, you can take more actions that used to take more time. I think Alex Hormozy said it pretty well. He said, like, instead of going from you get this done, he was talking to his employees, instead of getting like asking them when they would say, I can get this to you in like the end of the week, which is
mhm,
like 5 days, 7 days later.
mhm,
He was like, why can you not get this to me at the end of the day?
mhm,
Which means if everyone started to like do that, you have basically 7x to your business. What changed? Time did not change. You still have the same amount of time. It's just the same amount of work that you were doing has been compressed into a shorter amount of time,
mhm.
right? How did that happen? You didn't become superhuman. You just did the necessary work in a short amount of time. And how do you do that? You just have to think less about what you need to do and just act more,
Mhm,
which comes from repetition,
mhm,
habit stacking. So I'm trying to like habit stack, right? Like last year I was posting less frequently on LinkedIn. This year I'm posting more frequently on LinkedIn. I'm doing 3 to 5 posts on a good week. Could that be 7 posts every single week without me thinking about it? Without me questioning, is this post going to be good? And once that happens, then 7 posts can start going out a week.
I
Then,
think I do 7 a week. Yeah.
yeah, then YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Right now I'm doing none. Can I start doing 2 every 2 weeks, like 1 every week or like 2 every month?
Yeah.
Then start to go down from there. You get better, but then you start to like. So for a person who probably is at 100K a month, they're probably doing 7 LinkedIn posts a week by themselves or with the help of their team member or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
They're like doing 1 YouTube video a week. They're running their business. They're doing the follow-ups every day. They're doing sales calls. So you're either doing it yourself or delegating it. But the amount of actions have to compress in the time. Because if I have done 50K a month, what's going to take to do 100K? Double the amount of activity.
Exactly.
If I don't improve, if I improve, maybe 1.5x of the activity, but still more activity.
Yeah, absolutely. What have you read 10x is easier than 2x?
10x by Grant Cardone?
No. 10x is easier than 2x.
Oh, 10x is easy. No, I have not.
Wow,
That's a great title.
Amazing, bro. It's so good. Like Benjamin Hardy is so good. Like you should definitely read it, but I just come up with it because it changed my life, honestly. Like, because what it's about is like, if you think, let's say you want to think about your business, for example, now it's on 50K. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you say like, you're not going to double it, but you're going to fucking 10x it. And if you alone put that thought into your mind, you think totally different than you would think to double it. And he teaches this in this book, bro. And it's genius.
I'm gonna get this book.
You're already looking for it.
I am looking for it. I pick up books like something, man. Like I got this one recently. This was recommended by Cole Gordon. So I'm like, okay, I'll just pick it up.
The 5x CEO. This one I don't know. I don't write that down. No, that's already.
That's a good one, man.
Okay, the 5x CEO. By who was that?
It's by Samantha Allison and Tavo Gottfredson. Samantha Allison. Just search.
All right,
Samantha
I
Allison.
remember that. That's fine. Okay, cool. No,
pretty research-based book.
10x is easier than 2x is about really like a totally different mindset. It says like, and that's why I'm telling this to you, because I think you love that concept. And I think that's also something that you can maybe do a little bit more also for your own agency. It's like he says, if you want to do 10x, you have to do a lot of things not. You just basically cut a lot of shit that you do, you cut it out, or you basically give it to other people, right? So you delegate it. These are things. And you really go into your 20%. You go into 20%, and that's how you can go 10x. That's basically the whole principle behind it. But the general thing, like if you now would think, look, if I want to go do 500K next year, for example, what would I need to do? You think totally different in your brain than you would think when you would go for double your revenue.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, you only have so much energy, right? You need to figure out a process and then find people who can do it for you or AI that can replicate that process.
Exactly.
To get the same output from the set of inputs that you put in, basically. Right?
Exactly.
So that you can do more of that, which is why, like, again, like when it comes to like customer acquisition and stuff like that, there's only so many ways. You can do more content, you can do more cold outreach, you can do more ads. Why figure out one, go to the next one, give this to someone who can do it for you, automate parts of it, so that you can like do more. Again, it's about activity. It doesn't matter if you do it, if a team member does it, or if a machine does it. It's about activity, right? So how can you compress more, like do more activity in compressed amount of time?
I love it, man. Awesome, man. I really, really enjoyed that conversation. It was great to catch up with you. And like it's always, we just bounce the ball back and forward. It's just, it's really great, man. We should do this from time to time, actually, regularly if you're down there.
I'm down.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. So now we're coming to the end of the podcast because I know you have your next things to do, and me too. So if I can ask you a last question that I always ask everybody is like, if you could give yourself like 3 advices, the younger you, when you started out, when you first started out your agency, when you started Copywriting, you did your first 3K, what would that be?
The first thing would be, if you look at something and it really impresses you in someone else's life, believe that you can have it yourself. and you're deserving of it. Because if you don't, then you're not going to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Second would be absolutely work on your health and your body.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is downstream effect from there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't feel good about yourself, about how you look, about how you function, nothing else is going to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Third thing is, yeah, man, have faith in yourself and just take the action. Just take the action and keep doing it. Keep failing. It's okay until you succeed. Because that's the same process that everyone has gone through. Some people find success sooner than later, some people later than sooner. But if you keep at it, you're going to find it one way or another. So those three things, I would say, there's a lot of other things, but those three things I feel like has come top of mind. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great advice. All right. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on the podcast, Brock. It was a massive pleasure
Absolutely.
to catch up with you and have you on. And yeah, I
Same
see you next time, guys, in my next video. And if you guys want a revenue seeding mirror that I just talked to Broca before, you can check it directly in the description. If you have any kind of blocker that stops you, where you feel like I don't really know what is it, like I'm like when we talk, you're on the same revenue level, you're always between like 5 and 15K or something like this, then this revenue seeding mirror is made for you. Check it out in the description, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.